you're new as we look at what's next for Anthony Joshua. With bloodthirsty fans and eagle-eyed promoters rubbing their hands together, every move is crucial. And in a game of split seconds, only the quickest, strongest, and smartest survive.
This could be one of the greatest comeback stories in British boxing history.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
Just over 6 years ago, glory made Anthony Joshua one of the hottest prospects in boxing. Cruising through the heavyweight ranks, his value has risen exponentially. And even now, in 2018, he is yet to take a backward step. And whilst it's easy to see where Joshua's toughest challenges thus far have come, it's much more difficult to see which, if any, of the current crop could dethrone the heavyweight giant.
And this is called a show, this is called a crowd. He will not beat AJ and these people.
Though, you throw in a few outspoken Americans, some rowdy Brits, and some quietly confident Eastern Europeans, and you're left with a deadly heavyweight mixing pot.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Especially when you remember you have some of the biggest, the hardest hitting, and the most dangerous fighters on the planet.
Of course I want the Furies, of course I want the Joshuas, but the question is, do they want me?
Throw a thumbs up on the video and subscribe if you're new as we look at what's next for Anthony Joshua. It almost seems as though success in boxing today is defined by how many rivals are calling your name.
The difference between me and him, they rather stay in their safe haven over in England. But where you go, there's the question. I would go anywhere in the world, Jim.
If this is the case, Joshua has a never-ending queue of hungry fighters snapping at his ankles. Though how many of them would take the fight is another question.
They don't want to fight Wilder, they don't want to fight me. Told you, they're all bums. They don't want to fight anybody who can fight back.
No one wants to hear about splits. No one wants to hear about who walks first and who walks second. They want to see a fight. And that's what we're working towards.
Repeatedly calling Joshua's name, one American has stood apart. A man who genuinely believes he has the beating of the Brit.
Do you think you earned a shot at Anthony Joshua tonight?
I've been no earned a shot against Anthony Joshua, but when it comes to boxing, there's it's politics, it's trying to maneuver, I run Anthony Joshua out the ring. Tell G-String, come over here, and I must toast that English muffin.
After crushing his sturdy Polish opponent earlier this month inside 2 rounds, Jarrell Miller took no time to call out the heavyweight king. He brings speed, power, and great upper body movement. But whether he would be anywhere near ready for a shot at the big time just yet remains to be seen. The two traded words at the DAZN press conference in the summer. And whilst the majority of boxing fans believe the talk is just hype, Eddie Hearn himself touted Miller as a threat to the heavyweight division, claiming he may be on AJ's hit list for 2019.
I think he's a threat. I think he's a very good heavyweight. I think he's going to be tough to beat. And if Joshua comes to fight in the US, Big Baby Miller is the obvious choice.
Man, he can put Brazil. That was slap the little black that he got left on him. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know what he talking about. Light-skinned boys ain't gonna prosper. I'm gonna whoop his ass.
Moving south from New York to Alabama, and despite being considered the most likely, negotiations with the Bronze Bomber have taken a downward spiral since Fury stepped in, putting everything on the line.
He's got no guts. He didn't want to fight Deontay Wilder. So it took me, the Gypsy King, to step in.
It's a small division, and sooner or later, once the fans get fed up, then the fight will happen.
When that December bout comes, we will learn exactly where the Alabama fighter stands. Though considering Wilder beats Fury, expect him to scream from the rooftops to get himself on the April 2019 show against Joshua.
It seemed like this has turned into a Riddick Bowe and a Lennox Lewis effect. And if so, then you need to go and throw those belts in the trash can because I am coming.
Especially considering high-flying promoter Eddie Hearn announced that Wilder would get a 50-50 split against Joshua should the Fury fight sell 1 million pay-per-views.
If he does 1 million plus, we'll give him 50-50. I think that's probably fair enough. And if he does over 500,000, we'll give him 65.
You're going to feel a fury. You're not going to feel no power. You might push us hard than that, you know. I'm sorry,
at the same time, in the same division, we have to fight each other. So that's what I'm saying. Good luck to both of them. I'm glad they can get the fight together, and then sooner or later, me and them will fight.
But let's be honest, we've seen it go round and round once already, so as fight fans, we can only hope. Obviously, at the other end of the knife stands the Gypsy King, speaking as, if not more, confident than ever.
I beat so many problems. How am I going to let this little skinny spaghetti hoop man beat me?
Big, he's lurchy, he's awkward, but I just have to go with Anthony Joshua. I think he has the momentum right now, and he's just good for boxing right now in the heavyweight division.
He goes into the highly anticipated December clash as underdog, a position which suits him perfectly.
I wouldn't make a fool out of my mouth. I know I can beat this fella. I chose him. He didn't choose me.
With his size, speed, and boxing IQ, don't be too surprised if Tyson Fury sticks and moves his way to victory on the first.
The right hand, he threw it, and hit him good with it about 3 times. And I mean, once you get hit with that right hand dead on, you can't stand up. I don't care who you are.
Though, as Wilder-Fury negotiations began to escalate over the last couple of months, Hearn claimed that even if Fury won, Joshua wouldn't fight him.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but Tyson Fury is the most unentertaining fighter I've ever seen. He's never been in a good fight in his whole career.
So it's a massive long shot that Joshua wants to step up to the plate and fight the winner of this, then I'm sure we'll adult enough to sit down and make it work.
So just like all the rest, if Fury pulls it off, he won't hesitate to put the pressure on AJ to step up to the plate.
Weightlifting fighter, well, he's only got some titles out the bin, and he didn't have the cojones to step up and fight Deontay Wilder.
However, two outspoken and extremely optimistic champions, the December bout has the making of a fight of the year.
Heavyweights who's got balls like King Kong are going to fight on December the 1st. May the best man win.
White and other big names have shown willingness to fight the champion. Hughie Fury was even linked earlier this week, claiming that if he beats Pulev this weekend, he would take the Joshua fight in a heartbeat.
There's only one fight I want next, the guy of all bouts, and that's Anthony Joshua. So that's the bout I'm going for. Get Brad Pulev out the way, not underestimating him, and I'm coming for him.
However, though less vocal, another huge name has stepped onto British soil. This time, surprisingly, a cruiserweight. Usyk, the Ukrainian maestro, steps up to fight Tony Bellew in 3 weeks' time, a bout which he claims puts him in line to fight the best of the best.
Is that a fight that would interest you, Anthony Joshua? You? No, not now. Next year. Yeah.
This is business for Alexander Usyk. He's not really looking at Tony Bellew. Yes, he'll train as hard as he needs to. He's looking at Anthony Joshua and others.
Usyk's skills and movement are like no other fighter above 160 pounds, making him a massive threat if he takes the risk in boxing's top tier. Immense footwork and punch output has seen him unfazed by some of the biggest punchers at cruiserweight. But the move brings a totally different level of punching power. Whether he could stand and face an onslaught from one of the world's biggest hitters is a question only time may tell. As for now, with options coming from all angles, Anthony Joshua has to be considered the biggest name in the division, maybe even the entire sport. And whilst